He was just another waiter, taking orders, cleaning tables, and staying invisible to the rich and powerful. But when a wealthy businessman humiliated him in front of everyone, he chose to stay silent. What happened next? No one in that restaurant could have predicted it. Days later, the truth came out, and the arrogant millionaire's world turned upside down. Stay tuned for an unbelievable story of humility, karma, and a twist that left everyone speechless. In the heart of the city, there was an upscale restaurant where only the wealthiest dined. Celebrities, CEOs, and powerful businessmen filled its elegant halls every night, enjoying gourmet meals served on fine china. Among them was Richard Langley, a ruthless millionaire known for his arrogance. He was a man who believed that money determined a person's worth. Then there was Daniel, a quiet, hard-working waiter. Daniel had been working at the restaurant for months, always polite, always professional. He never sought attention, never complained. But that night, everything changed. Richard Langley walked in with a group of colleagues, laughing loudly. He wore a designer suit, a gold watch gleaming on his wrist. As he took his seat, his sharp eyes scanned the restaurant, and then they landed on Daniel. "You!" he called out, snapping his fingers. "Come here, waiter." Daniel quickly walked over. "Good evening, sir. What can I get for you?" Richard smirked. "How about you bring me a steak, medium rare, and make sure it's perfect, not like last time. That was garbage." Daniel nodded. "Of course, sir. Right away." As Daniel turned to leave, Richard chuckled and said loud enough for the entire table to hear, "Honestly, I don't know why people work these kinds of jobs. No ambition, no future, just serving food to people who actually matter in life." The table erupted in laughter. Daniel felt a sting in his chest, but he kept his head down and walked away. He had learned long ago that arguing with people like Richard was pointless. A few minutes later, Daniel returned with the steak, carefully placing it in front of Richard. But as soon as he set the plate down, Richard frowned. "What the hell is this?" he snapped, prodding the steak with his fork. Daniel hesitated. "That's your medium-rare steak, sir, as requested." Richard scoffed. "This is not medium-rare. It's barely cooked. I wouldn't even feed this to my dog." The entire table laughed again. Other customers turned to watch. The restaurant fell silent as Richard grabbed his glass of wine and without warning poured it all over the plate. "Maybe now it'll have some flavor," he sneered. Daniel stood there, his hands clenched into fists. His face burned with embarrassment, but he refused to react. Instead, he bowed slightly. "I'm sorry, sir. I'll get you another one." Richard smirked. "Yeah, you better, and hurry up. If you're going to be just a waiter your whole life, at least be a good one." The next day, a mysterious email arrived at the restaurant's management office. It was an invitation. An exclusive event was being held at the Langley Enterprises headquarters. The email requested that the restaurant's best waiter be sent to cater the event. Daniel was chosen. He didn't know much about Langley Enterprises, only that it was one of the biggest companies in the city. So he put on his best uniform, packed his serving tray, and went to the event. When he arrived, his breath caught in his throat. Standing in front of a massive stage was Richard Langley himself, surrounded by executives and reporters. Cameras flashed as Richard stepped up to the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "tonight we celebrate a new chapter in Langley Enterprises. And to honor this occasion, I'd like to introduce someone very special." Daniel was about to turn away when something unexpected happened. Richard took a deep breath and continued, "The new CEO of Langley Enterprises." The crowd erupted in applause as a tall, confident figure walked onto the stage. And that's when Richard froze. His arrogant smirk vanished, his face turned pale. Because the man walking up to take the microphone was Daniel. The room went silent as Daniel adjusted the microphone. He cleared his throat and smiled. Thank you, Richard, for that introduction. And thank you all for being here tonight. Richard's colleagues turned to him, whispering, confused. Wait, isn't that the waiter from last night? Richard couldn't speak. His mind raced. Daniel continued. I've spent years working from the ground up. Some of you may not know this, but I started in this company as an intern. I've worked in every department, learning everything from the inside out. And now, thanks to my hard work and dedication, I have the honor of leading Langley Enterprises into the future. He paused, looking directly at Richard. And last night, I was reminded of something important. That no matter how much success you achieve, treating people with kindness and respect will always be more valuable than any amount of money. The audience erupted in applause. Richard swallowed hard, his hands shaking as he realized he had humiliated the CEO of his own company. Daniel gave him one last glance before stepping off the stage. He didn't need revenge. He had already won. Humility, respect, and kindness will always be more powerful than arrogance and wealth. Because at the end of the day, it's not money that defines a person. It's their character. So the next time you look down on someone, remember, you never know who they might turn out to be. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible real-life stories. Have you ever experienced a shocking twist like this? Tell us in the comments.